This is a production of kmmedia.pro. Welcome back to Positive Talk Radio. Our goal is simple: to explore evolving ideas one conversation at a time. So come on over into our world. I know you'll like it, because on today's show, spending a nice, relaxing afternoon digging in the dirt, creating beautiful flowers, flower arrangements, works of art, then you're going to like this show. We want you to stay for the entire time. We've got a great show for you today, and it has to do with Wellness Blooms and Bloom TV and our pilot episode that we did for them and all of that. And I'll be introducing a fistful of people in just a second. But first, I have to talk to Eric. How are you, Eric?
Hey, good afternoon, Kevin. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday to you. I hope everybody had an outstanding Thanksgiving weekend and we're ready and primed to go back to work and have a real nice time. I do have to say, Eric, that, over the last 20 years, I've always asked you on a Monday that we did the show together what the weather's going to be like for the week. And, you have always, you're almost always spot on. Don't know how you do it, but it's amazing to me that you can pick the weather out for the week. And so if I'm going to ask Eric now how the weather's going to be, and you can take it to the bank, that's how it's going to be. Eric, what's the weather going to be like?
Well, I get a lot of help from the National Weather Service, so I can't take any credit.
Hey,
but yeah, it looks like it's going to be nice for the next several days. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, looks like some light rain is moving in. But highs, in the upper 40s for most of this week. So, pretty enjoyable here for a getting close to wintertime week.
Now, I got to ask you also, because I don't know. Do you like digging around the garden and working outside and with the plants and stuff, or are you like me and you just say no?
Sometimes I do a little gardening.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, in that case, then you're going to enjoy this show because we have got a great group of people that are going to be here, and we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the Passionistas Project that in the second half of the show. So I hope everybody stays with it. And with that, I'm going to introduce our producer and head dirt digger who loves digging around in the dirt and creating, and she does with anaturaldesign.com. She creates some amazing floral arrangements and stuff. She's very talented at this. And because of that, she and I had the opportunity to take kmmedia.pro, and we created a TV pilot for somebody. Tell us that story a little bit, if you would. And also, we want to mention about the magazine that we are going to be giving away. So I'm going to give it to you, my dear. Take it away.
Sure. Yeah. Well, let's start with the magazine giveaway. So positivetalkradio.net and kmmedia.pro sponsor a magazine, and we have some limited print special issues of our last issue, the autumn issue. But you can get it for free. You can download the whole digital magazine on kmmedia.pro. It's called the Pacific Northwest Collaborative Magazine. It has its own webpage and tab there for the downloads. But to get your free issue, and we'll mail it, we'll contact you and get all the information of where you would like your stocking stuffer mailed to. And all you have to do to get an issue of that is comment on our YouTube channel here on any one of these Wellness Blooms and Bloom TV Network shows. We've done 4 of them. The previous episode numbers are 659, 653, and 647. Today wraps up the last of the series of 4 of the interviews where you got to know people that helped make this TV pilot episode called Wellness Blooms that's airing on Bloom TV Network. On bloomtvnetwork.com, if you want to watch it, along with tons of beautiful, amazing, everything floral you can think of. You can paint them, you can eat them, you can design with them, you can meditate with them, and you can find that all on bloomtvnetwork.com. And if you want a promo discount code, I think it's $20 off. You can use my name, all one word, all caps, Hollyberry, HOLLYBERRY, to get that $20 off on bloomtvnetwork.com. And am I missing anything, Kevin, or shall I introduce the founder and CEO next of Bloom TV Network?
I just wanted to add that on the pilot TV episode that you produced and that we did, it's about Serenity Tea. It's about taking garden items that are that are available here. We picked them right out of the garden at Bastyr University,
Yep.
and Dr. Daisy, what a name
Yeah.
for a gal who works with flowers.
I know, I love it. Oh my God, it's so synchronous.
But Dr. Daisy explains through in the video all about the ingredients, what it is, how to put it together, and we actually got to taste it, and it works. So.
Yeah, it tasted like cranberries and rhubarb. It was amazing. I think they used Schizandra berry as the like you need some sort of like base note. The tea company I was talking to see about getting it created for us was asking, "What's your base?" And I'm like, "That's got to be the Schizandra berry." And sure enough, they're like, "Yep, that makes sense."
And the way the whole thing is laid out, the way Polly put it together, it's very relaxing. It's very soothing. There's some guided meditation at the end. It's all things that you will really enjoy. It's only 24 minutes long, but go to Wellness. It's
Bloom TV Network.
Thank you, Bloom TV Network.
Network.com and look for Wellness Bloom.
And if they want the discount again, how do they get the discount?
Yeah, they just use my name as a promo code, all one word, and it's all caps. It's Hollyberry, HOLLYBERRY. And you plug that in when you sign up on bloomtvnetwork.com. And by the way, Kevin, your guided meditation and your National Geographic level narration on the episode was perfect. It was really nice. I've actually listened to it a few times, but specifically I go back for the meditation when I'm a little stressed out.
Well, thank you. It was a gift, and it's my gift to you and my gift to Bloom TV. But Holly, we better hurry because there's a event coming up very quickly that could happen during the course of this show. So we want to make sure we talk to them before that happens. If you don't, I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but.
Yeah, and along with that, we have Amy and Nancy Harrington from the Passionistas Project, and they are also here to help give away a bonus freebie book, another great stocking stuffer. And I found out last week that I'm quoted in this book. So like as soon as I go on vacation this week, I'm going to go buy like 20 of them for every girl I know. So stay tuned for that information as well.
And absolutely, and so we better get started. So
Okay.
So go ahead and introduce. I believe they're the CEO and founders of. Well, hold on. The CEO and founders of Bloom TV. So go ahead.
All right. So we're happy to introduce, and it's our pleasure to introduce you to Monica, Michelle, and Devon Kearns from bloomtvnetwork.com.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Wow, Kevin, thank you for that incredible round of applause.
Hey, I can do that again. It's my magic.
Very good. Well, I would love our audience to learn about what biophiliacs, who they are, and why they're called that, because I've known about that term for years and years, but I don't think a lot of people know about that term. And so I think that would be a fun place to start, and maybe kind of like a little bit of the origin story of how Bloom TV Network got started. Usually it's like an event or a conversation or an idea or something sparks it, and then it becomes reality.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, it's a bit of a long story, but I'll keep it short and sweet. This is, by the way, so I'm the founder and CEO of Bloom TV, and Devon Kearns is the co-founder and also director of leadership development for our companies. And so we're a good duo. We actually met, it was our first date 3.5 years ago when we met. And at the time I had a bakery where I was making everything with edible flowers. And during that time, I was in the kitchen all the time, and I was talking to Devon about, what I was doing, and really looking for a way to not be in the kitchen 14 hours a day, and share a little bit with my audience, how do you bake with edible flowers? And, and we started talking about ways that we could create a virtual experience for people. And then I could move out of baking with edible flowers and maybe teaching people how to cook with them instead. And one thing led to another. And over the course of a little bit of time, I was like, wait, there's a Food Network, there's an HGTV, but there's no network dedicated to flowers. And so we decided to start a TV network for all things floral.
There's some backstory behind that too. There's not a lot of money in baking of any kind, and then when you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning baking and falling asleep by 10 p.m., there's not a lot of time for me to date a baker. Selfishly, I started poking and prodding to find ideas that were outside of this very time-consuming and expensive business that she was in, with very little income coming back in because she was spending it all on her bakers and all the people making all the stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot there. I was in marketing prior to that, and I was like, how do I get back into the digital space? And it's so random. But as we started playing with this idea, it became a real passion project. And by January of 2022, we launched to the public for the first time. And it's just been, an incredible journey ever since then.
I am so grateful that happened, because when I first found out about Bloom TV and when I first talked to both of you in some Zoom meetings, I was like, I've found my people. and this might be a good segue into the biophiliacs. And Kevin, is that a question you have?
No, well, first of all, I have no earthly idea what a biophiliac is. Is that somebody who his blood doesn't coagulate? Anyway, I have no earthly idea what that means. So that would be a good place to start.
A biophiliac.
You're talking to the wrong people.
We don't know.
All right. So biophiliacs are people that are really into being around nature, working with nature.
Interesting. We learned something new. And
So there's
biophiliacs then.
yeah, you totally are. You totally qualified. Now, Kevin wouldn't, but he's maybe a sports affiliac or something. He watches football religiously.
Yeah, except in the Seahawks. Never mind. I won't go there. It's too depressing.
Yeah, no, most often you'll see that term used for interior design when they want to use a lot of natural materials or, create like what looks like you're outside when you're inside. So.
Yes. Okay. I was going to say that. I was like, I know like biophilic design.
Yeah.
But
right.
Okay.
And
now
a biophiliac is the people the people term
the
versus the design term. Yeah. Yep. So fun fact for the day, our awesome listeners. Oh, and I forgot to mention for everyone out there listening right now, we do have a live moderator. So if you have questions, if you want links to the websites, all these awesome people that you're going to hear about and from today have websites. We can help get you that information or any of the freebies or giveaways. Just post a little comment or question on our YouTube channel there.
So I do have a question for the two of you. As you were working together in the kitchen from 3 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, baking is it's a hard way to make a living because you got to get up so early and stuff. Which one of you brought up the idea of, hey, why don't we do a TV network instead? And which one of you said, are you nuts?
Okay, first of all, let's clarify. Devin was not in the kitchen.
I was in the kitchen. I wasn't baking.
He was taste testing stuff. So it's interesting, and I'll back up here a little bit because in the beginning I was actually in marketing and I was in the digital world. And I had this crazy idea that for fun, I would love to start baking edible flower desserts for my girlfriends on the side when I had time. And my first client ended up being the Oscars. So I went from 0 to 100 and was baking desserts that went in all the dressing rooms for the Oscars in 2018. And that kind of kickstarted that career for me. So it really started as something that I just wanted to do for fun on the side and then took off. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I look around and I'm like, wow, I'm a baker and I'm in the kitchen 13 hours a day. And like, I want to be back in digital. Like, how do we take my current clientele and move them back into the digital space? And I thought, gosh, maybe I could teach them how to make these desserts that I've been making that they love. And then maybe I can start teaching them floral education and the health benefits of eating edible flowers. And you know, Devon and I together, as we started poking questions around, how do I make this digital? What are some things that I could teach people? What are some courses I could maybe sell online to move out of the baking and more into virtual again? And it was through those questions of, you know, well, what about the mental health benefits of having flowers in your home? Well, I don't know anything about that. Well, what about like biophilic design? And then, you know, Devon was like, well, is there a network that teaches this already? And I'm like, no, there's not. So it was kind of this back and forth of.
There was a very specific day.
Yeah.
where she starts really dreaming about the types of shows. And it was kind of around the question of seeing what Food Network has done for inspiration in your own kitchen or future people in restaurants and chefs and so on and so forth. And she started thinking about bigger and bigger show ideas. And there was a very specific day at a coffee shop where she's like, well, I'm not going to give that idea away. I'm not going to give that show idea away. And she started talking about all the things that she's not going to turn around and put out there unless it's shows she's creating and shows that she wants to bring into the world that are these great shows that feel good and inspire people to go get in nature again, as well as are entertaining. We call it actionable entertainment, right? And so to be able to dream that big, all of a sudden she got really excited about that and just started thinking, well, this is a TV network. It's not just some fun YouTube channel around flower education. And then your question was, who went, that was crazy. So I'm more of the question asker. She's more of the genius visionary. And as I was asking the question, she was dreaming bigger and bigger. And then she was also the one that thought it was crazy.
Crazy.
I've never started a media company. I can't start a media company.
I don't know anything about this, but yeah, let's do it. But this is crazy. We're going to do it.
I'd like to know, because this is obviously Positive Talk Radio, and a lot of our people that listen to this are interested in a better way of finding great things to do and to follow their passion and to live their life to the best they can be. There had to be a moment in time when you, after you said you were crazy, but then you decided that was what you were going to do. How did that feel? Did it make you feel scared, or were you excited, or a combination of both?
Be honest.
Well, yeah, so I'll be honest. We came up with the idea, and then I went home and cried. So I was like, I don't know how to build a media company. And but you know, the cool thing about it is that and Devon says this a lot, is the bigger the vision, the bigger the gravity that it has. And so as we started to put it out there and share with people what we were building, the right people came into play that could help make that happen.
However, there was a tipping point. And this is what I'd really encourage people to discover, right? It's in 24 years of entrepreneurship, it's never the thing I'm making. It's what's driving me to build the thing. And the idea of building a media company when you've never built a media company before in your life is pretty daunting. And all of a sudden we're walking up in the woods. She's getting reconnected with her desire to be in nature, to commune with nature, to find that peace of mind.
My inner biophiliac.
That's right. And as we were walking, and she's expressing this fear and this frustration, which I think is important, since we are talking about how do you discover these things? How do you really step into these dreams? How do you really create that type of momentum? Most people have a tendency to let the fear consume them because they won't stare at the fear. They won't ask through the fear. And so we were walking and talking in the woods, and we were asking through the fear, why do you really want to do this? What is it that's driving you to want to build something this big? And all of the sudden she's in tears, and this, I want to tear stuff down and rebuild it. I want to restore nature. I want to restore Eden. And boom, I mean, I had goosebumps all up and down my body. She's in tears even more so. And we discovered the why behind the what. And it was to be able to build something that gets people involved with bringing nature into their homes, which hopefully gets them out into nature, gets their hands into soil again. And when their hands in soil, they'll be reconnected to that which I personally believe we came from. And from that space, it was really interesting watching how then from the why, the gravity of the support, the people, I mean, people reaching out on LinkedIn to her that were big people in media that she wasn't trying to reach out to. They just messaged her, and she ended up sitting and having coffee with them where there was advice. And she became gravity and started pulling in these things when that why got unleashed. And it was one of the most magical things I've ever witnessed. It was really neat.
When things like that happen, it's because you're on your path. And that is your passion, and that is a great thing to do. And from my perspective, the universe is saying, yeah, I think you should do that. So here's this person, here's this thing, here's that thing, and we're going to make it, and we're going to help you make it happen.
That's right. 100%.
And you know what's interesting about that? Just by way of, you did treats to put in the dressing rooms at the Oscars. Well, Amy and Nancy interviewed those people on the red carpet before they went and got into their dressing rooms. So that's how this show is connected now.
I know. That's wild.
Let's go ahead and bring Amy and Nancy on. I'm sure they have great questions too, or information or commentary, all of the above. Welcome, Amy and Nancy.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Welcome. So tell everyone a little bit about your book you just launched, and we'll make sure to get that information to the listeners as well, since that is number two of the awesome freebies we're giving away today.
Excellent. So here's the book. It's called Power of Passionistas, Creating Your Own Success Story. And Holly is one of the 52 women that we have interviewed. And we've interviewed hundreds of women, but for this book, there are 52 women in it. We've pulled quotes from their interviews from our podcast, and all the quotes are about success, and you're defining success on your own terms. Holly's quote is one of the best, and I'm going to read it to you.
I love that they took this one.
It says, success is like this juggling act. If you're not dropping any one of the balls at any particular time, then you're doing it right. So every page has a quote, and then it has a prompt to get you thinking about that quote and help you on your journey to creating your own path to success. So it went on sale last week. It's on Amazon. Just search for Power Passionistas, Creating Your Own Success Story, and you can buy your own copy. But we're also giving one away. So tell them how they do that, Holly.
Yes, which is so exciting. So all you have to do is comment and ask for one, and then we'll reach out and find out where you want us to send it. It won't cost you anything. We'll pay for the shipping. Just any one of these shows. We got this show. We have number 659, number 653, and number 647 on YouTube. Just comment on that. And it's youtube.com/@Positive Talk Radio.
I'm still amazed that we had 650 shows up.
Yeah, I keep telling you to simmer down, man. Simmer down.
Well, I can't. It's what I do. It's my passion. Never mind. But ladies, did you have a question for our TV production team?
I have a question from Monica. Yeah. So how do you go from, I'm going to make cakes for my friends to getting in all the dressing rooms at the Oscars?
Let me just tell you, I don't even know how some of this stuff happens. I went to a Friendsgiving, and brought a bunch of desserts. I said, hey guys, I'm going to, just so you know, let your friends know, because whenever you've got birthdays coming up, I want to make these fun flower desserts. Here's a bunch of stuff that I've been working on. And somebody who worked with the Oscars ended up being at that Friendsgiving, was like, would you like to put all these in the dressing rooms? And I'm like, what? So kind of just like this divine random happening. And I feel like that happens so much. I think it's that, I don't know how to explain it. I just, we have a friend of ours, her name is Diana Wentworth, who sits on our board, and she's just this incredible woman, but she's got this saying that she goes by, which is expect magic. And when you just expect magic to unfold for you, it does.
Mhm.
It's like just that law of attraction, I guess. But yeah, super random.
I don't know. I wouldn't call it random. I'm not in, by any stretch. I would call it divine planning.
Divine
Because-
planning. That's right. That's right.
You know, because it's amazing how many people just kept showing up for you.
That's right.
And but that's also happened to Nancy and Amy as well, because we know their story, and for heaven's sakes, for Holly as well. It just kind of, and that's one of the underlying themes of this particular show I would like to put out there, is that follow your dreams, live your passion, believe in who you are, and if it's good for humanity, if it's good for people, it's going to come true. You may have to work for 20 years to get it to happen, but it will happen. Do you guys agree with that?
Oh yeah.
100%.
I just want to add, make sure to eat your vegetables.
So that she can make more.
And chocolate. Make sure to eat chocolate.
Well, the key here is consumption. I found recently this discovery through meditation and just opening up to this essence of creation. And what has built up a lot of momentum in my life is recognizing the little things on a daily basis. These, I call it micro wanting, where I found myself in the opposite of that, which was micro suffering. So something as simple as being chilly in a room, there's a blanket next to me, I wouldn't put the blanket on. I wasn't cold enough to justify the blanket, and I wasn't being lazy. I just was willing to sit in that little micro suffering. And as I found the opposite of that, which was just put the blanket on, it was such a simple act, but the fulfillment of that filled me up so much that I was like, well, what's next? And then I laid down, I put my head on the pillow, and the pillow was off a little bit, and I caught myself willing to be in micro suffering again. I'm like, why am I doing this? Why won't I just fix the pillow? It's right here. And that it's these subtle moments. We think it's the big things. We think it's the giant leap into discovering, restoring Eden, or walking the red carpet, or getting the Oscars. I think it requires a lot of daily momentum of fulfillment and daily questions that are supportive and conducive to that fulfillment, that allow for you to move into a non-resistant state. And from no resistance, you kind of move into that magical essence that we're calling the law of attraction, or whatever it may be. But I hesitated throughout my life to really understand the times where it was working and the times that it wasn't. And it wasn't whether the big thing was working or not. It was whether I was in those daily alignments and whether I was getting that level of fulfillment that I really wanted, so that I could be living into the fullness of life. And from there, you just seem to open up those doors a lot easier.
Oh. And that means that one of the ways that you can do that is, well, Amy and Nancy, maybe you can help me here. If somebody were to, like, I don't know, make a journal that somebody could have, and it would be like, I don't know, for the entire year, and they could write down, like, this is just, I'm thinking off the top of my head, write down things that they could that they could do on a daily basis, and the little things, not the big things and stuff, and get inspiring quotes. Do you guys think you could put something together like that?
Yeah, why don't you check Amazon like as soon as the show is over? Don't go yet. But then go to Amazon and maybe Google Power of Passionistas, and see what we can do.
You guys are magic. You can make it that fast.
We are magic, Kevin.
These are some of my favorite shows. And Holly, in your world, because I know you have done so much, and you've worked so hard at putting stuff together. When you put together the pilot, and I got a question for Devon too. But when you put together the pilot TV episode, it was just magical. At least from my perspective.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of work, but it came together. It wasn't perfect, but it was just the first try, and it actually will help people learn how to relax. And if they want to go to the garden, Bastyr, you can contact Bastyr and they will do tours. But we harvested all the flowers right out of the garden, and I think that was July. So everything for the flower recipe that you can see on the Wellness Blooms TV episode does grow at Bastyr University. That's spelled Bastyr.
And Devon, you mentioned meditation a little bit ago, and there's a meditation in the Bloom TV pilot we did, and I was just kind of curious if I hate to put you on the spot, but did you listen to it, and did it not suck?
How could that voice do anything other than soothe you and put you into a meditative state?
But Kevin, before you, he used to not wear mala beads.
Yeah.
But after that meditation,
you put me over the edge, man.
That makes my heart warm. That makes me feel so good. So I appreciate that, because that's part of the presentation. And Holly just came to me and said, "Why don't you do a guided meditation?" And so I just did it, and I sent it to her, and she said, "What did you say again?"
Oh, he wanted edits and critiques. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, it's perfect. Like we can use it. It can go to the can.
You mean it can go into the film, not into the bathroom, into the can. Never mind.
Film can, Kevin, old school film cans.
Oh,
like way back, the reels, like movie theaters used.
Well, then I think there's an entire opportunity here for just like a bunch of floral meditations, like a series.
I was actually talking to Kevin, and I'll have to follow up with you and Devon later, because I had an idea for that, like with the imagery and everything. I know we have meditations on Bloom TV Network already, but I got a specific idea. I'll send it an email for you.
So Kevin sitting in the garden next to Buddha doing the meditation.
I could get him in a garden. He'll do it from his studio, though.
Somehow parts of me remarkably look like Buddha, but we're not going to go there. So
I have a question for you, Holly, because and I think a lot of people would be curious about this, because whenever you talk about you submitted a pilot TV episode, I think sometimes people don't understand what a pilot TV episode is, right? And it's that first episode that could represent what a potential full season would look like on our channel. And our model is, as you know, is we put pilot TV shows and workshops, tutorials, all the things on our channel. And then we look to our audience to collect data and see which ones are doing the best, to figure out which ones we want to produce full shows and series on. And so for you, this first episode, it's all about this wellness tea, and you're taking us through the garden. There's a meditation. Can you share, or are you willing to share what a full season would look like for you?
Yeah, so I love this. Thank you. This is a great number one. The information on how people can submit to Bloom TV is really helpful for our listeners. And then number two, thank you for asking, because I'd love to talk about that. So I have anxiety. That's the main reason I was like, I've wanted to learn how to make my own anxiety tea forever. To help counterbalance that, I go to spas and I try to meditate. So Wellness Blooms is incorporating flower fusion into spa and wellness related topics. And for people that do yoga, for people that do, I think they call it forest bathing is an actual term. There's tons of articles on it. It's all those different ways to use nature to help with anxiety and other related issues. There's a lot of them out there. And I was actually looking up statistics on like NIH.gov and on Anxiety and Depression Association of America. And they were saying things like on the NIH.gov website, an estimated 31+% of US adults experience any anxiety disorder at some time in their lives. And then they broke it down into types of anxiety on the ADDA website. So like generalized anxiety disorder affects 6.8 million people in the US, which is about 3%. And it says that only about 43% of those people are receiving any kind of treatment for it. And I was like, I had a history in the healthcare industry. I'm like, I want to help people. And I have a floral shop and I love flowers. And how do I meld the two? And so, yeah, a whole season of Wellness Blooms would be finding all those different little ways that you can educate and get inspired and do something that can help you as well.
I love that. So like each episode focusing on a different form of wellness with flowers. And I love that. I love that.
And then anytime I can like weave some spa practices in there, like I go to the spa, like even like how you can put eucalyptus in your shower. I don't think some people even know you can do that, but it smells amazing and it instantly can start to soothe you.
It's very convenient to put it in the budget of the production of the film too. That I had to go to the spa.
Research.
Exactly.
Hey, Holly, did you say garden bath or
forest bathing?
Forest
so
bathing. What is
forest
that?
bathing. So I think that actually has Asian history to it. But if you Google it, there's full-on articles. And so when you go for a walk in the forest for a certain amount of time, if there's not like construction work happening in the park somewhere or something, that disrupts that environment, you're literally bathing yourself. Instead of like in a shower where there's water, you go into a forest and like feel the environment like wash over you, because you're literally there just to be in that environment and get out of your house, which is a box, out of your car, which is a box, out of your office work, in a regular office, which is a box.
That's really cool. That's really cool. And by the way, Nancy and Amy, you also do these gift boxes, and you do it for a lot of your folks. What if we were to put together, because we're looking into it now, putting together the Serenity Tea and making it and having somebody put together the blend for us, and then we did a little guided meditation that they could do along with that, and we sold it as a package. What do you think about that, you marketer devils, you?
I think that's a great idea. We would love that. And I think our Passionistas would just benefit inexplicably from both the tea and the meditation. So yeah, let's chat. Let's do it.
Oh, Kevin, we should let them talk about, because we're actually, Kevin and I are, because of the Wellness Blooms TV pilot episode airing on bloomtvnetwork.com currently, we're going to be interviewees tomorrow on Amy and Nancy's show. Amy and Nancy, would you like to tell the Positive Talk Radio listeners where to find us tomorrow?
Yeah, so tomorrow at noon Pacific time, Holly and Kevin we're gonna turn the tables, and they're gonna be on our show. Kevin it's a rare thing that we've only actually had one other man on our show.
Ooh, you're special.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can try and be like Mrs. Doubtfire.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, so on LinkedIn, if you go to Amy Harrington on LinkedIn, that's me, and Nancy will join from her account, and we'll talk more about your backgrounds. And every time we're on, we talk a lot about us, but especially Kevin, we don't know a lot about Kevin's history. So we're going to find out more about Kevin. We're going to talk more about how you guys got to know each other. And we're going to talk more about the pilot TV episode and share that with our audience. So we're really excited about it.
You know, and I do have to tell you that Monica and Devon, they talk about synchronicity and things just kind of happen the way that they're supposed to. That's how Holly and I met.
Save it for tomorrow. Save it for tomorrow.
Well, now you've told everybody that's here.
No. That's stay tuned tomorrow on LinkedIn. And if you find Amy on LinkedIn, it's spelled AMY for Amy, and Harrington spelled HARRINGTON. And she is a Passionista. You spell Passionista PASSIONISTA.
I literally just put that in my notes because I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to join that.
Love it. Love it.
I will say this is just as a snippet that my mother introduced us, who had already passed away. That's all I'll say.
That's a good teaser.
Oh man, if I weren't doing the interview, I would tune in to hear that story.
Wait to hear that story. All right.
Excellent.
And it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. But now, Monica and Devon, I've got to ask you, because I've been wondering about this, because when we first met the first time, and it was like, okay, you give us this and then we'll look at it and then we'll give you edits and then we'll get back and forth and then you guys do this. You just put it up. You didn't have any edits. Was it because it was okay? Or I'm curious about that.
Or were they just really busy? They got a lot going on.
Let me tell you, some of the stuff that is submitted, there are lots of edits. So yeah, we looked through, we were like, oh yeah, this is perfect, and put it up. And yeah, we're testing all the data, which we'll be releasing to you guys pretty soon to let you know what people are watching, how long they're watching, how many viewers we got. So yeah, you guys did a beautiful job on it. And we always say that we come back with edits to everybody so that some people don't feel as bad.
We built that into the production for this Wellness Blooms. So we were expecting the edits. And when you just said, okay, it's up, I'm like, oh no, I had edits I was going to do. So we ended up with the director's cut.
You gotta tell us that part.
No, it took like 2 or 3 months of filming, coordination, scheduling. I was just like, no, all lights go, green, take off, go.
You know, it is one of those things where you can just tell when people have put time and energy and effort into it and brought along the right people to capture the story. They put thought into the story before filming, and it was great. I loved watching it. Yeah, especially your meditation, Kevin. Don't worry.
Thank you. I'm a little insecure about that. But I did want to say, and I want to thank our editorial assistant Demi for doing a phenomenal job of putting it together. It's just she's listening right now, and she's also the moderator. So Holly, if somebody wants to talk to Demi, they can go do that now. How?
They go to our YouTube channel, and that's youtube.com/@Positive Talk Radio, and you can pop messages in the chat. It's a free magazine, limited edition Pacific Northwest Collab magazine, or if you would like the success, what's the book called, Amy Nancy? The Success.
It's Power Passionistas, creating your own success story.
Yep. Yeah, you just pop that in the messaging and we'll contact you and find out where you would like us to send that. And thank you so much, Demi, for being our moderator and our editor. And we love you.
Yeah, she just is a great kid and does a phenomenal. Everybody's a kid to me these days, but does a phenomenal job. But I gotta tell you, you two are. I love your passion for putting together the network. You think along the same lines that we do, that anything is possible, and you've got more down the line. What have you got up your sleeve that's going to roll out next?
Oh man, well,
one is already rolled out.
We have a sister network called Made TV that we launched in August. So that's fun. That's out there, and that's same model, niche media, but focuses on artists and makers. That channel has that one took off a little quicker than we thought, actually, really quick. And so we've got that one. We have over 70 workshops and tutorials that we filmed back in July that we'll be releasing in January. Everything from meditative floral arrangements to cooking with edible flowers. We've got
Halloween.
yeah, that's already passed. Halloween's passed. We've even got workshops and tutorials that are geared specifically to people in the industry, how to grow their business, roadblocks, how to move past that, pricing, just a little bit of everything there. We also have a full TV show, a full series that we're going to be releasing in the spring. We have several more we're shooting. Gosh, what else?
4 other networks that we've been tasked to build out.
We do have 4 other networks that we've been tasked to build out over the next year and a half, following the same model, but just different areas. So a lot of things rolling out. And also, we're expecting a baby in a week. So we're expecting to roll that out pretty soon.
That, by the way, congratulations. And thou does, is this your first?
This will be our first. And
Thou
our last.
does not know what thou is getting yourself into over that.
No, we know we're delusional in all of it, which is part of the reason we're excited.
So there's a 5-letter word that I want you to remember fondly because it's going away soon, and that is sleep.
Oh,
We heard.
We've heard. We also, for those of you listening, we made an agreement prior to the show going live that if I go into labor during the show, we have to name it Kevin.
Perfect.
Oh, Kevin, what an opportunity.
I tell you that.
Thank me later, Kevin.
Yes, and Monica, they make a great picture just sitting there, but they froze up on us, but and we're running out of time anyway. But thank you, Monica and Devon. If you come back, we'll see you in a second. But let's go back to Amy and Nancy. It is just so cool that what you're doing, and thank you for including Holly. And I feel really special, and I mean this sincerely, that you're going to allow me to participate with the show tomorrow.
Well, it's our pleasure. You have been so supportive, and you're an honorary Passionista. So
my gosh, that you have to have, like, we got to make badges or something, because that's so perfect.
That's a really good idea. T-shirt.
Well, let's tell everybody the basis of what it is that you do, because the journal is one thing. It's an extension of what you do, but you are doing a ton to make a difference for a lot of women in the world who are either disadvantaged or, well, you tell us, who are you helping?
Well, sorry, Nan, you want to go? So we are helping as many women as we can. But we do a few things. We have a podcast called the Passionistas Project podcast, where we interview women who are following their passions to inspire other women to follow theirs. We have the subscription box that you mentioned, which is full of products from women-owned businesses. We host an annual Power of Passionistas Women's Equality Summit, and that's specifically focused on women from marginalized communities, to give them a platform to tell their own stories, because most often women from marginalized communities are spoken about or spoken for, and they're not allowed to talk for themselves. And our mission is to get all these women from the different groups and areas that are marginalized to join together to create a stronger force as a unified group. And partly to help with that mission, we are launching in January an online community it's a sisterhood. I don't know if we said it early in this interview, but we are sisters. Nancy and I are sisters. And people always tell us that they wish they had what we have, which is this partner that is loyal and trustworthy and always there for us. And so we want to give the women in our community a whole new world of sisters that they can lean on and learn from and fight the battle with. So come January, we'll be launching that community. So,
and because of your work, in one day, we are going to be able to say there's no such thing as a marginalized community anymore.
amen.
That we're all part of the grand scheme of things, and we all work together, and we're all one, and we all take care of each other. That's why I support you guys so wholeheartedly, because you are exactly the type of individual that we want to promote on Positive Talk Radio, so that it can grow, so that we can get bigger and more people can be involved. That's what we do, and that's why you are so special, and I thank you.
Well, we appreciate that. We are really blessed to have met a world of incredible women who have educated us on their issues and who have shared their stories with us and have helped remind us all what we can be doing on a daily basis to make life a little easier for each other in ways that might not occur to us if we're not walking in their shoes. So we're only as strong and as good as all those amazing women that we've come to know, including women like Holly. So we're very grateful, and we're really, really grateful to you both for all your support of everything we've done. We really appreciate it.
And by the way, I don't know what episode number it is, but because of your work on the red carpet, we had a show and we talked about all the people that you interviewed on the red carpet. And so if you go to positivetalkradio.net and just search for the Passionistas Project, you'll find that, and then you can it really was a fun episode to do.
That was really fun. We had no one had ever done that with us before, so it was a blast.
And there's so many names that are there that it was fun, and we just really appreciate everything that you've done. And Holly is I got to say that I don't get a chance to say this much, but Holly, you are just a phenomenally talented individual, and you have a tendency to bring a lot of people together because of the individual and the person that who you are. And I really appreciate you, and I'm just happy to know you.
I'm so grateful to have met you too, Kevin, and you, Amy and Nancy, and for Monica and Devon. I new to you, but so excited to know you better as well. And I feel like this is like a Thanksgiving wave still flowing of the gratitude. This is nice.
Indeed it is. And I'll tell you that gratitude is something that, we are supposed to go into the Thanksgiving weekend and have gratitude. And oftentimes we don't. There's political strife within a family or whatever it is. I just encourage people to just drop some of those things and just come together in peace and love. One of my favorite musicians says that. Ringo Starr always said peace and love. And he's, so if we could just do that for each other and for our community, and we can support each other in any way possible, I think that we could change the world. And that's our goal.
Amen. Again, I say amen.
We've just got a couple of moments, so I would love for Amy and Nancy, or Nancy and Amy, you guys pick, to give us like a 1-minute synopsis.
Of
anything you want.
Of whatever they want. Oh, not a hard task.
Let me put it this way. We've just got a minute left in the show. I want you to be able to tell our audience anything that you think they would like to know.
Oh boy. Well, I just think everybody should go subscribe to Bloom TV and watch Holly and Kevin's show, because the more we talk about it and the more that Holly reveals about her reasoning for doing it, if you know Holly, or if you listen to Holly, you would never know that she has anxiety. That's not something that would ever occur to you. She seems, she is positive and confident and strong. And it's one of those things that we all have some level of it bubbling under the surface. And the fact that you shared that today and that's your motivation for the show is just really inspiring. And I appreciate that you shared that with us. And I think it's just more reason to go and check out the show. So I would like to take this just last bit of time to encourage everybody to go to Bloom TV and watch Wellness Blooms.
Thank you very much
Amen.
for that. Holly, you get the last word.
All right. Be kind to one another because each other is all we've got.
That was a little early. You can say it again. That's worth repeating.
All right. I'll make it sing-songy. Be kind to one another because each other is all we've got.
That's
We'll
very
see you Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.